of my life. Take her home and drive all night till she's warm in time. It's frozen. Story of my life, give her hope. I'll spend her love until she's broke inside. It's the story of my life.
That's my preferred method of identification.
And this is?
It's a cat collar. I'm currently identifying as a cat.
Fair enough. The information here on the tag, I'm assuming belongs to you, the boyfriend?
Yeah, that's so rude. I hope you know I'm recording.
Well, it wasn't my intention to offend you, but he just identified as a cat, and you're wearing a Harris Walsh t-shirt, so forgive me if I came to a conclusion that you guys are involved in some sort of a homosexual arrangement.
I'm not mad that you think we're together, but you're using gendered language. Besides, I'm not his boyfriend, I'm his owner.
Okay. Well, look, we can do this the hard way if you'd like. I can have this car towed, because last I checked, a cat is not licensed to operate a motor vehicle in the state of California. We can have animal control come get you, take you to a shelter where your owner can retrieve you for a fee of $70 after you're given the necessary immunizations, which do include a rabies shot, possibly even spayed or neuter, whichever you prefer or identify with. Is that what you guys want to do here?
What should we do? I don't know. I don't have $70.
Sir, I can also request that a mental health care professional come down here on scene and do an evaluation of you because you're considering letting him take a rabies shot rather than just give me an ID, use some manners so I can give you your ticket and move along.
What is this called? Gay. Pay. Pay. What is this called? Gay. Yes. What is this called? Gay. Hey. What is this called? Gay. Lay. Lay. What is this called? Gay. Bay. Bay. What is this called? Gay. Way. Way. What is this called? Gay. Ray. Ray. What is this called? Gay. Say. Say.
Oh, wow. Drowning deep in my sea of loneliness, broken yourself and dying. Will you give it to me? It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing.
I will not be part of that. Thank you very much.
That's right. That can go on day and night and then some.
You must be Doc Holliday.
That's the rumor.
You retired too?
Not me. I'm in my prime.
Wretched slugs. Don't any of you have the guts to pay for blood?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
I'll put you out of your misery.
Say wham!
I can't beat him, can I?
No.
Well. I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Your
Mute.
What is happening, sages and savages? This is your reminder that the show is not for children. This video contains copywritten content. However, under the Fair Use Act, Section 504C2, Title 17 of the United States Code, this content is presented for the purposes of education and entertainment through the use of parody, satire, critique, analysis, and/or social commentary by means of subjective opinion. Viewer discretion is advised.
Don't douche yourself. Men, very important. Don't douche yourself. I shouldn't have to say that, but apparently there are companies and corporations that set you up to be douched in your own showers. If they provide free soaps and free stuffs, all right, it may be douche. So please make sure, gentlemen out there, just don't get caught up. Don't be betrayed. Don't have some weird fourth wave feminist with gender pronouns somewhere in a corporate office putting douche in your shower to try and trick you into douching A's.
If you're the victim of a douching, not of your own choice, please call 1-800-SAGE and Savage. Operators are standing by.
I'm just going to say I have not douched myself this week. I have not douched myself this week.
You've learned the errors of your ways.
I've learned the lesson involved in reading labels. I read labels now.
Good.
So I didn't scrub myself with douche.
No.
Feeling good. How you doing, guys? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to smash the like button and share out the link. And what's up? You go first. What's up? Hi. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Hale, thanks for joining the show and being a part of this train wreck that we have expressly
that we're expressing.
We are expressing. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
An interesting week in the
very
news.
Interesting week. Lots of
gayness.
Lots of gayness.
It's gay month now. Well, shouldn't Trump make this nuclear family month? Hasn't he changed that now?
Right. I think he changed it back to June.
Is gay month? Yes, it's back to June.
It's not gay month anymore. It's June.
I'm glad. I saw Snow Dub out there. The meme. He had a meme with like this dude driving a roller, like one of those big freaking asphalt rollers.
Yeah, I loved it.
Running over the pride.
One of the replies was Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit. Like, shit was badass.
Yeah, dude. What is going on? Oh, what's up, John Douglas? Good to see you, brother, man. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, sir. We're going to talk about Karens and empathy and emptiness. But the emptiness is not what you're saying. See, here at the Sage and the Savage, we start out with the base topics, the low vibrational base topics, and then we move to the elevated topics, where it's kind of a mix between the Sage and the Savage. All right, because my shows are usually about Karens and assholes and toxic types and making fun of them. And that whereas my esteemed colleague here, he talks about elevated topics, like up here, like the crown chakra.
Right. but realize the crown and the taint are connected by the vertical power current.
They absolutely are.
And one leads to the other.
And this is why spiritual reach arounds are so important.
It is.
All right. If you are not grabbing the spiritual taint
of
your brother or sister and just to elevate them, to pull them up, then you're not giving the back kisses that God intended. In my opinion.
Right.
Real quick before we start off, actually, you know what? I wanted to bring this up and I didn't. So we were at Wendy's today. We were eating fast food, which we don't recommend, but we did it. And I'm not even gonna find it. Kim Kardashian. It was not Kim Kardashian, it was Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah.
And what did you spy with your little eye?
Okay, so she apparently identifies as autosexual.
Autosexual.
Yeah.
Now, when you first said this, I thought it was automobile sexual.
That's kind of what I thought too. Like maybe like 15, 20 years ago, there was this guy who loved his car so much that he customized the tailpipe for other purposes. Right. And apparently he wanted to marry his car, all that kind of stuff. But that's not what Kourtney means.
No, it is not what Kourtney means. And I hate to go a little Dragonstorm, but I do that every now and again.
You have to.
Where is it? Autosexual. There it is. Autosexual definition. Autosexuality is a term used to describe a sexual orientation in which individuals experience primary sexual attraction to themselves.
Oh.
This means that they are more sexually by their own body, appearance, or fantasies than by others. And if anyone understands what narcissism is, that is it. There's nothing more narcissistic than a Kardashian or a P. Diddy trial.
That's true. You know, and these women, and I use that term in air quotes, they have struggled to maintain relevance for the last 20 years. And the only way that they can seem to do it is by putting fuck tapes on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, especially the mother. She's the worst one.
Yeah.
You know, that's the matriarchy for you.
Well, yeah, that's a perfect example of like fourth wave feminist jargon and bullshit. Like, to be wrong button.
Technical difficulties.
I'm a professional YouTuber. I've been doing this for years. So the entire culture of Hollywood, which we have been seeing unfold.
Oh, the implosion.
The implosion of it. Now they're eating each other alive, just like the Democrats,
Mm-hmm.
who have just been spitting out nonsense.
What's the difference between the two?
There really is no difference between the two. They're all in the same house. They're all getting paid. They're all like products of Soros, and Bilderbergers and all those. All those fucking reptilians.
This has been a far left production.
But they have been getting lambasted, and I'm glad to see it, especially with the exposure of P. Diddy and all of the animals involved in those P. Diddy parties. The trafficking starting to get exposed. Mel Gibson's going to be he's talking about doing a movie that talks about trafficking in Hollywood.
Nice.
Good. But like the Kardashians are a great example of the self-indulgence, the ignorance, the delusional behavior, the narcissism, of what Hollywood really stands for. They can get away with anything, do anything, say anything, label themselves anything, and you're wrong. It's a good time right now, especially for those of us who came up in in the good Comicsgate era, in my opinion, and like the Fandom Menace era, the gamers and the Gamergaters too, but to have seen the rise of these behaviors, these mentally ill people who just keep pushing the envelope on how far they can gaslight, blame, shift, destroy the nuclear family, destroy society, peddle kiddos, get away with it. Just the abuses that they do, from the Democrats to Hollywood to the music industry, all the way down to the local levels, all the way down to child protective services and things like this. Like, it's just been nonstop throughout our culture, just rampant perversion.
Oh, for real. And there's other victims besides the kids. Johnson & Johnson's baby oil, they're stopped.
Listen, did they go down? Listen, they need to take a few cues from Diddy.
They do.
They need to put, what is the rape drug, the grape drug? What is that? They need to put that in the baby oil like Diddy did,
Yeah.
And I think it would soothe. It would soothe anyone that you put the baby oil on, the Johnson & Johnson oil would relax them. There's no more need to give Benadryl to your kids to get them to go to sleep.
Right. No more tears.
No more tears. Well, I don't know. I think they should change the slogan.
Oh yeah.
The baby oil slogan, there's a lot of tears. They just come after.
100%, dude. No, it's crazy, dude. These elitists, they get together, and could you imagine, even as a parent, your daughter turns like 17 and a half and you're already planning on her sex tape?
Yeah.
Because you want your family's name. I actually heard that the dad got so disturbed by everything, he became a woman.
He did. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're talking about that today too. We're going all in. We're not holding back. We are giving reach arounds left and right.
Oh yeah.
Up and down and middle. But yeah, it's the perverted nature of living in a very toxic sacral energy.
Yeah.
Sex energy, which is so very important. It's vital to our manifestations. It's vital to our creativity, to our identity of self, to keeping everything, as far as keeping family units together. Right. Having a woman in her feminine, a man in his masculine. Now legitimate other segments of society aside,
Mhm.
like homosexuals, he, she's, things like that. They've always existed.
They have always existed.
Always existed.
Yeah.
That's another interpretation of source to understand it ourselves as human beings in this existence. So we'll never take that away. There is true gender dysphoria out there, always has been. But they have absconded these legitimate experiences by people in this incarnation in order to scramble the energies of others.
Right.
To confuse them, to dumb them down, to get to spread mental illness. I talk about this a lot on Dragonstorm. Narcissists want to create cycles of drama and trauma. They want to spread their pain. They want to spread abuse, and that's what these elites have done.
That's true. They've taken the legitimate concerns of a very small percentage of the population and have tried to apply it to the broad spectrum, and it's just not. It's just not working.
No,
that's why we kicked them out of fucking office.
Well, it's not only that it's not working. It's, I mean, the most nefarious aspect of it is that they're doing this in order to scramble people's minds.
Right.
I mean, it's not just, I've been saying this for years. It's to make children more accessible to perverts.
Right.
But it's also to destroy the family dynamic. I mean, look at all the destruction of the fourth wave feminism has done by masculinizing women. They've created this huge barrier between men and women to the point where American men, a lot of American men are black pilled. They don't even want to date. They don't even want looking for a wife. What does that do? It takes women who are being taught that it's okay to make those sex tapes. It's okay to be masculine. It's okay to sleep around with like 100 dudes before you're even 25. Their body counts so that they lose the ability to pair bond with their partners.
Correct.
It is all about destroying the healthy energies that exist within us as individuals and with our partners.
Well, right. So they're trying to sell this idea that there's toxic masculinity and that we should adopt a beta male approach, like a male feminist approach to sexual relations. And that's the kind of thing that's leading to would you rather be with a man or a bear? And then the women, these high-powered modern women who's sold on third wave feminism, she doesn't believe she has any options because real masculinity is shit on. There's only these betas and sycophants and simps hanging around her. So, and then the other guys they're all just rapists. Yeah. So it's better to just be in the woods with a bear.
Yeah. And that's the confusion. That's where all that confusion comes in. And it is to separate us from one another. When you remove the natural order from the tribe of man, I'm going to say man, it's people, but it's the tribe of man.
Tribe of man.
When you remove that natural order, then you begin to disassociate the dynamics between male and female relationships, family dynamics.
Right.
And then you have sick families like the Kardashians, where dad is turning into a woman, lopping off his dick. Yep. Mom is planning for her, like you said, the next daughter, she's 17. Oh, it's time to get ready for the sex tape. Yep. What sycophant are we going to marry you to so that you guys can have a sex tape so we can have the next big thing and generate more money for the family? No care whatsoever into the family dynamic. And this is a product of politics, far left politics, Hollywood, and it really, and the most nefarious part about it is it comes from the top 13 families.
Oh yeah,
they are the draconians, the bloodlines. They are the ones that want to destroy our ability to connect with one another and create our own destiny.
Correct. There's just too much biomass on the planet for them to control.
Right.
So even if you look at the charts of like birth rates, you see this fucking declining trend, and it starts in the early 2000s where we were just basically maintaining population to this point where we're just like,
but it really comes into play this is why the importance of people in power, right? Maintaining the power of the vote. We lost that power in 2020 with that fake ass plandemic. The ability for the shadow government to basically gear an election in their direction, put a freaking moron in there and run wreck for 4 years. And luckily this term in America, we were able to have our voices heard. Thank God. Because I had lost all confidence in the vote. Yeah. And now we're seeing things being turned around, but it's going to take a long time for those things to be turned around.
Yeah. Well, there's a massive effort of will, but their fatal flaw, and we've discussed this before, is that when you constantly tell more than half the nation that they're toxic and they're unwanted and to get the fuck away, then
That's the problem with those types of mental illnesses where people lie to themselves and live in delusion, right?
Yeah.
So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, delusional. Feminists, Black Lives Matters, the Antifas, the trans activists, they're all delusional. They live in a world that they've created. They press it on everyone else. And if you don't agree with their narrative, they're not going to talk to you and have a logical conversation. You're not getting debated. You're getting threatened.
Right.
You're getting shamed. It's narcissism run rampant.
Yeah. Talk to your doctor about Sorositis. If you're under the influence of George Soros, you may qualify for a new experimental drug where it actually removes your head from your ass.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
That's a self-douching technique that we do not recommend.
It is, yeah.
But you're right, the sexual deviancy aspect of it, which is something that's been more and more prevalent since we had a couple of gay guys in the White House. And it's pretty much it's pretty known. Brock's gay.
It's a well-known fact.
Big Mike was a big black Mike. Not this big black Mike. But since we had these, you can call them degenerates. I don't care. I will just say that they are gay. They are gay men. Since we had gay men in the White House. But also, we saw a rise in this discussion about the bathroom debates and the trans debates. We also saw a rampant rise in racism. Let's not forget that Barack.
They laid the groundwork for all of that.
Black militant. Yeah. In my opinion, having Black Lives Matter in the White House is the same as inviting the KKK. And again, we have Democrats inviting a racist, in my opinion, a racist hate group into the White House. Let's see. How many? Well, okay. What? Lacey says, how many mics are there and how big are we talking? Big Mike, the quarter roll test. Wes Moody used to have the quarter roll test.
Yes, he did.
And whenever he had somebody new come on his show, there was an Ellen program where they were dancing, and you would see Michelle's ba-boing, 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 ba-boing. Yeah.
You remember that there was like a pop song called like Wiggle Wiggle, and the dudes like would wiggle their fucking package. That's essentially what we're talking about here.
They said, plus Journey is an
Courtney.
Oh, Courtney is an Aries, and that makes it worse. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
there's lesser evolved and higher evolved in every sign.
In every sign, Aries is the youngest of all the signs.
Yeah.
Followed by Taurus.
Yeah.
And he's an Aries, Taurus, and I'm a Taurus. So you couple of kids. We only spiritual reach arounds here, and we do not douche each other. All right, that does not happen. I am sitting on a pillow as a high chair right now. I am doing that at the moment.
He's a funny little guy.
It's not because my ass is sore. That's not the reason.
No.
It's not. No, I'm not saying that. That's not the reason.
It's not a hemorrhoid-shaped pillow.
It's not. Yeah. There's no cone. There's like. Lisa says, just kidding. I am giving you both spiritual reach out as we speak to feel that. What's that? To feel that tickle. Yes, it is me. Yeah, I appreciate that, Lace. Thank you, sweetheart. Where are we at? Oh yeah, queers. So there was this. Right there's this video. I think if I can find it, I think I saved it on TikTok. We're gonna go through some stuff today where a debater was asking an activist, a rainbow mafia person, what is the difference between gay and queer? Because when he was growing up, just like when I was growing up, queer was a derogatory term.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to say that.
Smear the queer.
Smear the queer, right? Yeah. But he's asking her. He was being genuine about it. He wasn't being a dick. He was like, "Can you please define or give me the definition of queer? Because when I was growing up, that was a derogatory term.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you, so that I know? Like, if someone were to ask you how to properly use that word." And this girl was just like, "Well, I'm gay." That was her answer the whole time, like different variations of "Well, I'm gay." Like, okay, what does queer mean? She goes, "Well, it's a term." Yeah. Okay, well, what is it? It's a definition. Okay, well, what is the definition? And she had no idea.
They're adverse to facts. They want everything to be so nebulous. That's why they're trying to sneak that P into the LGBTQ
absolutely
alphabet.
And that's the scariest thing, trying to sneak that freaking P in, because when you not penis, by the way, we're not saying penis, but no, the maps, pedos.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest aspect of the alphabet mafia and where they were going. They absolutely were trying to do that. It is first off, it justifies my belief that the Alphabet Mafia is really just trying to make kids more accessible to perverts. But
get that gold juice.
The overall thing here is we go from one extreme in the early 20th to about the mid 20th, which was all gay men are pedos. It's a mental illness. You need to lock them up.
And some of that was due to fear.
That was due to fear.
And that's not to say that they don't exist, but etymologically, the word queer was odd, like way back in the day before they applied it to people.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's almost like hip on college campuses to be queer in some way.
Well, there was an empowerment phase though, like because I got a lot of queers in my family, and I'm using that in like the Gen X term, and so being at family gatherings or events where we had a lot of gay family members around, that was something that was said. So was baguette. I can't believe I can't say, I should be allowed to say that. Right. They would call each other this shit. Oh my God, you faggot, you freaking queer. Like it was the same thing as the group of blacks want to use the N-word with each other. It's kind of taking a derogatory term and using it for empowerment, and then making it's a part of their culture. Mm-hmm. But we've seen the perversion of culture. Like we've seen with racism. Like racists don't mean shit anymore. The race card's been pulled so many times illegitimate.
No, and you were talking about that new series of videos, right?
Yeah.
Fatigue.
Yeah, the black fatigue videos. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one day. I'm waiting a little bit longer. I think maybe the next show or the show after we'll talk about that. But I figured since today was the beginning of the old rainbow month, that we kind of touch on that subject. Making kids more accessible to perverts as well as normalizing mental illness.
Yeah.
And that's what we have seen a lot of in the last 15 years, just normalizing mental illness.
Yeah. Well, to the point where they're encouraging their kids to basically neuter themselves.
Yeah.
To take them out of the gene pool.
But also like the creating a low resonance within the population by those that run it. They, by the draconians that want to make us all mentally ill. They want us all to be destabilized. You're seeing a lot of people. I've watched a few videos today about people who are detransitioning. They're forever changed.
Oh yeah,
their body chemistry is forever changed, even if they didn't get the actual operation on their junk. It's a shame that, and you have these people speaking out about how they get shamed by the trans community that they were involved with, and now they're
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of shame, blame shifting. It's a lot of pointing the finger at others, just like the racist issue and the black fatigue issue. It's a lot of pointing the finger at other people and taking no accountability, expecting to be taken care of, expecting to be taken seriously when you're spitting out nonsense.
Right.
It is about creating cycles of drama and trauma and it's about destroying the fabric of this generation and following generations, and making us feel even more separate than we need to.
Right.
Our own individual experiences in this life are beautiful and unique. Every single last one of us. And on top of that, on top of going through those journeys in our lives, we are also a part of the tribe of Gaia. We are connected in the collective consciousness. Like we are all having our own experiences, but we are together. We are unique and similar in that we all share spirit.
Yes. And that's the thing about all that is, it encompasses the infinite, and there are infinite ways to express that. And again, we're not shitting on people who are genuinely gay or queer or whatever. We're shitting on the people who are politicizing and weaponizing mental illness by applying those terms to mental illness, using them as shields for their own jargon and propaganda. It's just let people be people, dog. I don't give a shit. Like have you heard about the one of the things that's brought up in the trans community is the five spirit ideology. Have you heard about that? The five spirit belief? Go ahead and explain it.
So it's in certain Western Native American tribes. Forgive me, I can't remember which ones. And within those tribes, or a tribe, pardon, they have this idea of five genders. You were masculine, you were feminine, you were bisexual, you were queer, you were gay, you were trans, I guess, whatever their definition of that is. which in my mind is probably the purest understanding of sexuality within our collective race, because those are kind of the, you have your straights, your straights, you have your gays, you have your bis, you have your gender fluids, you have your gender, just the people with gender dysphoria, I guess,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, these are all some of these are all natural states of a human being. Some of these are way less than the normal population. I mean, when it comes to like gender dysphoria, less than 1% of the world population, but it exists. So this is an experience within spirit, within us, that we as a collective have. And that to me is something that's pure. Like that ideology, that belief is way more pure than the alphabet mafia or these activists that are trying to abscond, use, and shame and destroy others, convince others that they're like them so they don't feel alone. I mean, the amount of fear and shame that it takes to be a bigot or a sexist or a racist, is what we are trying to overcome.
Yeah. Well, they all become like elitist gatekeepers. It kind of reminds me of like music snobs. Like, oh, I really like that metal song you guys do. Excuse me, that's doomcore. It's post-punk, hardcore, modern, alt.
Right. You're not punk,
Thank you. Right. And people are sitting there arguing over what the fuck punk is when they all kind of like look the same and act the same way.
It's very much in the same way that like these elitists who want to run and rule, these gatekeepers. And gatekeeping in some cases is good. I'm not going to say that it's not. In some cases it is. But you know what? Like there's your boy from Philly who taught me about skinheads.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. I thought skinheads were the racist freaking neo-Nazi white guys. That's not where skinheads began. Why don't you go tell them about your boy a little bit?
Yeah. So that's my buddy Castle. I've known him for 10, 12 years, but he was explaining how it started off with Jamaicans, and they actually had to shave their heads to go to work physically.
In the UK, right.
In the UK.
Right.
So they became known as skinheads. And the type of music they were playing initially started off really fast. They had to slow it down. And then it was slowly appropriated by racists.
By racists, right. And one of the reasons it was appropriated by racists and became what like is mostly known today is because the term skinhead was a merging of Jamaican and British culture into one working class culture. Skinhead means we're all the same.
Yeah,
that's real. That's what it originally meant. And so punk music had a lot to do with that because it was during that time. But it was appropriated by neo-Nazis and then twisted into something that was racist instead of unifying.
Yeah, and then racists would show up at shows with shaved heads and putting off bigotry, actual violence, actual fucking
so there's actual like there's crews of actual skinheads out there. Like I didn't even know anything about this. So mind you, I'm not an expert anyway. This is just a conversation I had with this friend.
Yeah. It's whiskey mysticism.
Like there's actual skinheads, like of all colors that go to some of these events and like whip the living shit out of the neo-Nazi racists.
Yeah.
Because they're appropriating this unifying experience of culture, of cultures into, a weapon, a cudgel to separate and destroy.
Yeah, 100%. And we're seeing that the strategies in politics and music and other forms of entertainment are virtually indistinguishable from each other.
Okay, you go first. And what if I felt a tickle too? I mean, if you're getting a tickle, then that's a positive thing. That is a very positive thing. Spiritual reach arounds go around. Sorry, sometimes my reach goes further than expected. Yeah, we know. I know. I understand, Lace. What's up, MC Mike Does?
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, dude? Good to see you. It's uncanny how many narcs are floating around. I think most of them are not aware what they are yet. Well, like the empath are not aware until they reach a ripe age.
Whoa.
Well, that's a good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So empathy is definitely going to be one of the topics tonight.
Yeah.
So this is a very appropriate question. I sometimes wonder about that too, because if you have the we'll get to that. If you have the capacity to question yourself, you're at least self-aware enough to examine your own worldview. Narcissists don't do that.
No.
I think empaths tend to do that too much, to the point where if they're unhealed, they give themselves away. They always acquiesce. They always kind of just give that energy out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Healed empaths, though, I would say that they would use their skills to help heal others, because you could walk out and feel who's upset, especially if you're in a field like psychology or education. And empathy skills figure very highly in the development of your pupils.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, any of those of you who've been like following me on DS, I go back and forth with somebody self-awares. Well, not back and forth. I just have to smack them down. They come at me for no reason whatsoever. So the term self-aware narcissist, actually, Lacey was talking to a professional, and and was mentioning the self-aware narcissist status, and the professional said that there's no such thing as a self-aware narcissist. It's just like another form of narcissism. Completely concur with that, because they are unaware of how evil they are. They think that they think they're right. They think they're just like Kourtney freaking Kardashian out there. I'm autosexual. This is a new side of sexuality. Like, you're just making shit up in your head. You're a narcissist who loves you. You jerk off to you. You look in a mirror and jerk off at yourself. And what's really crazy is that I have, as an insult to dudes who have like fooled them fucking selves, I have said, do me a favor, just spread eagle over a mirror, look down and jerk off, because you love your own ass that much. And it's a narcissistic trait. There is no self-aware narcissist. That's just a term that they use. It's another bullshit term. They're narcissists. They have been diagnosed as being narcissists, but they truly don't understand how evil and insidious they are. Empaths, Mike, they're unhealed. When you grow up in an experience, right? So, there's two different types of people. Narcissists are developed through abuse. Empaths are born with a gift. Psychics are born with a gift. Like COIL and I are both psychics. When we different variations or abilities, but we're both psychic. I don't remember until, I don't know, maybe the age, for me, 14, 15, realizing that other people did not have the ability to experience things the way that I did.
Yeah.
I just lived my life. I thought everybody could sense all the feelings in the room. I thought everybody understood this.
Yeah.
And when an empath, when you are on a psychic who can feel vibrational energy, emotional energy from others, can soak it in, especially if you don't know how to filter those things through, it hurts you twice as much when someone's yelling at you. Yeah. Or someone's being derogatory, because from your innocence perspective, like, they should know how much they're hurting you, because this is how people feel. You should be able to sense me.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting, the age range that you mentioned, because the activation of your hormones and your endocrine system really amplifies those powers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking through the mall and just seeing somebody crying and like feeling it in my heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I didn't know what they went through. I didn't go and talk to them, but it
affects you.
Emotionally. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were times where I've seen other people get yelled at, and I felt like I was getting yelled at too. And those are young experiences, and you definitely grow through them and change through time. You learn psychic defense and all that kind of stuff. But the experience is very visceral, because maybe you're not hearing the words that's floating through their heads, but you're feeling their energy centers.
Yeah.
Actually, that thumbnail that we picked out tonight, that's a report by medical organizations, an aggregate of where people feel emotions in their body physically as they experience them. And we could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we absolutely are. But thanks for that, Mike. Thanks for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Vampires suck for $20.
$20.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. He says it's K-Log. All right, Log.
What's happening, buddy?
Look, dude, Dan, we went out and we were out this morning. We got up early for breakfast, like before anybody was up. It was beautiful. And we actually got to sit down and enjoy it. And we walked outside, and there's this little frog statue out front of the hotel.
Yeah.
And it was like a wine glass. So the champagne glass just sitting there.
Yeah. It's like he was kicking back, just like doing the Leonardo DiCaprio. Remember that meme?
He was.
It's totally like I like it.
I like it. I like this one.
Yeah.
Yo, we were dying.
Yeah.
I was like, Alex, you got to take a picture of that. You got to send that to Dan.
Send that to Dan.
Yeah. Dude, we love you, brother. I'm so glad that you, you know what I love? You know what? The love the most, though?
What's that, bro?
My boy gets on camera now.
Yes, he does.
That's a hell of a thing. Like, we've been his friend for trans fat,
Oh,
trans fat right there.
Hell trans.
We've been friends for what?
7-8 years.
A long ass time. And he always been an avatar, and he never really came on camera. And then when we were doing Sage 7 and Skywalker the other week, he got on camera, and it was like, oh shit! Like, we didn't make a big deal out of it. Because we didn't want to make Dan uncomfortable. We didn't make a big deal about it, but like behind the scenes, we were like, oh shit!
Oh yeah, we were holy shitting about that. Yeah. So and that's a program that we do quite regularly. So keep in touch with the channel. Turn on that bell and notification icon. So,
and if you haven't already, if you're over on Dragonstorm, please, there's a pinned message at the top of the chat. That is the Sage and the Savage channel. It's the channel we're building right now. So please subscribe and meet us over there. You will see me and Coil, Stark of Iron, and the artist formerly known as K-Log, our boy Danny Manny. Yeah, I'm going to be making a new intro for Sage Savage and Skywalker, dude.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're on the lookout for that.
The second one.
I have another one. Okay. And then another 20.
Just another 20.
Was that a mistake, Dan? If that's a mistake, thank you. And I will send that back to you. But let me know, brother. I love you so
DM
much,
us
man. Yeah. Let me know if that was a mistake. I'll send that 20 back to you.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Steph says, no, they are aware. Some may not know of the word or heard it, but they know they are being helped by the devil and they are a demon. I mean, and that's like, Steffi, that's when it goes more to like, I think psychopathy, like malignant narcissism, like P. Diddy. Malignant narcissist. The Kardashians, absolutely. The Bidens, Obamas. These types.
Yeah.
Those who crave power and use it in order to sculpt destruction.
Yeah.
In communities.
Well, it's these narcissist whisper networks that get together and do rituals and all that kind of shit.
Steffi also says narcissist is a demon, not a mental issue. A demon knows what they are, and they want you to think that they don't know what they are. So actually, in the third part of the program, we're going to be talking about, well, go ahead, tell them what we're going to be talking about, the third part.
We're going to be talking about why, whatever you understand God to be, why that force lets bad shit happen.
Yeah. Why it lets evil happen.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great topic. So stick around for that.
Stick around for that.
Because it kind of goes into what you're talking about. We're going to be really talk in depth about where does the fabric of demonic influence begin?
Right. And the nature of human suffering.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But thank you, Steph. We'll get into that later, Steph. Thank you. Dan wants to feel our energy centers.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, brother, look. You want to join?
You want to join?
You want to? Yeah, you can fucking join. Yeah.
I will shoot a link to your DM, sir.
You got that?
I do.
You can make that happen. All right, he's going to make that happen. And in the meantime, I am going to get ready for the next part of our program. That's not autosexual. What are we going to talk about first? What are we going to talk about? Do you want to talk about gays? You know what? I do think it's time. You know what it's time for? It's time for a bitches break. Hold on. Damn it. All right. It won't fucking do it. It's time for a bitches break. I'm sorry. Present or invite. Share screen. We're just going to look at this a couple times. This is not presented by Snow. This is presented by that ass. I don't think. This is the savage part of the program. Thank you to all the ladies out there who do this for us and walk like this for us and are blonde like that for us. Thank you so much, ladies. I greatly appreciate you. What do you think about lesbianism? Oh, here it is. Oh, here's that
Charlie
video.
Kirk.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go.
A queer person?
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
When
It's so low. It's so low. I can't do that one. Hold on. I can't do that one. This is why I download them, but I can't download a whole bunch. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's do this
With
one.
me, I have a sign here. True Christians love everyone. Would you say you believe in this sign?
Yes, but define love.
Define love? To respect. You respect someone enough to not judge them, to not hate them for what they're doing, no matter what it is.
Do you lie to people you love?
Do I lie to
I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Mute, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Hi, Dan.
What's up, Steven?
What do you think of anal?
I go straight to it.
Question.
Do you think that anal is a representation of love?
Power.
The power?
Power.
Anal is power.
It's the power bottom, the power top.
Yeah. No, I know where he's coming from. Absolutely.
And it's gay and disgusting and AIDS.
But actually, part of it, we were COIL and I were talking about
in Africa.
What were we talking about? No, we were talking about like the Abrahams, the Muslims, right? So excuse me, not all guys, don't cancel me, but the ones in Afghanistan, like when the Russian-Afghan war was going on, and they would take Russian pilots and they would grape their asses, but they would at the same time they would say they kill people for being gay.
Yeah.
So
it's not gay if you're
what is going.
It's not gay if you're fucking the person in the ass. It's only gay if you're
if you're taking it. See,
that's red gaze theory.
That is red gaze thinking right there, sir. And I don't know if I agree.
No. Let me say it's gay all around, but it's far gayer if you're getting drilled.
So it's less gay if you're on top, but it's still gay.
Well, what do you guys think since you're fucking together? You tell me.
Listen, I mean, if we're talking about the degrees of gaydom, first off, on top is a bad way to say, I think.
First
from
all,
behind.
I'll say a blowjob is a blowjob.
I mean, if it's through a glory hole, you don't really close your eyes and make it whoever you want, right?
No, you had me at glory.
One of the best seasons of Buffy.
Well, we're watching this video right now, and it's this guy trying to describe the definition of love.
That's a guy.
It's a something. It's something, Dan. I'm not sure what it is.
I'm so glad that I'm a good person now in my life.
Yeah.
Because I would have been cruel to this person if we were like 17 years old at the same time.
I think an argument can be made though that like a certain amount of bullying when we were growing up, because we did go through that. We're all same generation.
It was good. It taught you
your
second order, physically and in the world, right? And it taught you to shut the fuck up sometimes. Taught people how to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. It also taught you how to overcome, how to be stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stick up for yourself.
Resilience.
Yeah. Yep. You get beat down, you fucking got to figure out something, Fucking figure out a sport. Go box. Do something. Learn, and overcome. Men don't have it, dude. Men have to fucking get shit on and just overcome.
Now, when you say shit on, does that mean like a Cleveland steamer or...
I don't
even know. A hot Carl. All All right. The show got really fat real fast.
Like a Cleveland steamer.
For those of you in the audience, I just want to let you know this is what happens when more than two fatties come and are on the same panel.
Yeah. It gets more savage than spiritual.
All right. Here we go.
Thanks for letting me come on, you guys. It's very fun.
Not a problem, bro.
Yeah, brother, we love you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And I don't lie about.
Should we, in the ideal, when you love somebody, should you lie to them?
I don't like looking at either. They're both ugly as fuck to look at.
Depends on the lie.
Charlie Kirk should know better than to be on camera.
But is he better looking than this guy?
He's like, you remember Forrest Gump, the guy that's like, Viet fucking Nam? He's like the fat version, the fat gay version.
Okay, you've got, yeah. Okay, Dan, you've got, okay, jock douche. All right, obviously, right?
Buddy, should you lie to them?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go there. Okay, so you've got douche.
In the ideal, when you love somebody.
Oh my God! Pause. And then you've got.
You have a sibling.
This.
Yeah, it's like Sideshow Bob's fat kid.
Or which of these two people are you going to take more serious?
I'll tell you this, like, and this is not a good thing to me, but if that person was in my same classroom when we were like 8 to 15 to 16, I would have made this person's life a living hell. I would have fucked them up so bad they might have committed suicide.
He would have grown stronger.
I would just hit them in the back of the head all day long. Like if I was in their class, it'd be like a speed bag.
Damn, bro.
But
you know what?
Are boys nice?
No, boys were not. No, they were never nice, dude. I dealt with so much bullying growing the fuck up that I had to be tougher.
So did I.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
then I became a big ass man, and I could fucking whoop this nigga's ass. You know, it'd be fucking easy. I would, break the break. I mean, what the fuck is this person even doing, dude? They should just commit suicide. It would be better for society.
Well, I think he's committing social suicide at the moment.
That is definitely happening.
And they have a dress on, and it is just ugly. The ugliest thing you've ever seen. Are you gonna tell them that dress is ugly, you need to change it, you horrible person?
Yeah, you would.
Yes. In fact, I'll do it in a way that is filled with love, but I love my sister so much that if I feel if she's going to leave the house and be made fun, I won't let her do that. Because that's what.
Okay.
I don't hate this stuff, dude. I root for Charlie Kirk to dismantle these, educated people, but I don't like this guy much either, man. I think he's fucking weird, dude. I wouldn't be around a room with him with my sister. I wouldn't let him in a room with my sister. I don't have one. But I mean, we're glorifying these weak ass white men. Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Like honestly, what is he repping that's like cool about being masculine?
He's repping his microphone. We want to say hail Jim Henson's middle finger. We got Snowdub in the house. What's
love
going
Snowdub.
on?
Hail Snowdub, but
what's up, brother?
Dude, this guy's like his only stick to fame is that he's cool, educated, right? But I don't find the education thing to be cool.
Well, I think a debater. I think it's more of a debate. Like he has the ability.
Master debater.
He's a master debater.
He's a master debater, Caleb.
So he talks shit better.
His teeth are fucked up. He looks like Mr. Ed.
So just to be clear, 15 to 18, you would have kicked both their asses.
What do you think?
I think we got 18 people in the house. So if you like this kind of stuff, thumbs up, share it out, drop a comment.
I'm not a tough guy, but I do know fucking weak ass white men that we chirp and push. I'm pretty sure his name is like, Ashkenazi. I don't know.
Do you think he's from Judea? Is that what you're saying?
I think that if you were to say, hey, Charlie, can you just say that it should be America and we just rep America and like take care of the men and women who are defending this country and like building the bridges and doing hard jobs? He'd say, yeah, as long as it's, pro-Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even into that stuff, dude. I'm not into I don't think either of us are. Are we really that educated on the history between the Jews and the fucking Arabs? No, dude. But anybody that wants to focus on that shit, go focus on that shit. I just want us to be cool here.
Yeah, dude. Dig that, brother. I think the problem is also a lot of groups that are just trying to create problems or trying to use here in order to solve their problems there. And then some people don't even care about solving the problems themselves. They just want to start shit.
That's liberals, you know. They just fucking crazy ass people. They want to they hate America.
Well, yeah, they want to fundamentally transform the most prosperous country of the last 2.5 centuries instead of just moving to the fucking place that they are describing. You know, go live in China. Go live in fucking Venezuela. Get the fuck out of here. You know?
Venezuela was hit 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Not no more.
They still got some hot looking women there.
We'll take all the immigrants that are hot looking women, right?
Right. If you're a hot little spinner, please apply for a green card.
Tear the wall down, Trump. Tear the wall down. Tear it down, bro. Just let it looking clean.
Put a glory hole in the wall, Donald Trump. Just put a glory hole in that wall. That's all we're asking.
That's how
China's asshole.
That could be a fix, like genetic. But you know what? Letting people in based on genetics, that might be considered racist.
That's the advantage of the glory hole. You know, it's non-discriminatory. It's just a warm, wet hole.
Well, yeah, a hole is a hole for sure. You know, I agree with that.
A hole. You know, Confucius said.
Let's look at this video.
What are we doing?
Eat shit!
Oh, god damn!
That's fake. That's fake, guys.
You shot that guy with a shit gun?
Do you think it's fake?
Yes. I think
it's staged.
I think this is what we should.
Is that the?
I think we should be staging shows.
Is that ourselves? I think that's the rookie critic, isn't it?
I was going to say that to you, but I didn't want to say that. But yeah, I didn't see pizza from fucking Domino's.
Subway. He's not carrying a 6-inch.
He's getting bold with his new direction.
He really is. Like, he just doesn't care. Hanging out with Bangus and trashing Eric has just made him so emboldened now.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Can you enlighten me on what's going on in the? Because I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is.
Oh well, no. Rookie streams with Bangus. All you know. That's his buddy. You know. And
what's going on?
No. It's just Bangus. Bangus has this. Well, you know Bangus. He's you know what he's into. You know he likes
gay.
Yeah. You're right. So he has this gay thing right now for this black guy called Eric July, and he loves him so.
Who's Eric Joy?
He was a guy who was conservative, a libertarian who was on.
He was a rapper called the Young Ripper, and then he started to.
I have to have a cigarette. You guys talk. Tell me.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But then he moved into conservative.
Yeah.
No, he was on what was it? What fucking show was it with what's that Jew's name? He was doing conservative commentary for a while, and then he moved into doing comics. And when he did that, it caught a lot of attention. A lot of people don't like him because he's not Comicsgate, and you know the rule: you have to be a part of that mafia. No. Like if you're gay, you have to be a part of the alphabet mafia, and he wasn't. And Angus is very confused. I think Angus is very confused right now. I say this with love, Angus. If you're watching, I love you.
I know. Just as long as you guys know, and everybody knows, I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. But I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying he has a really gay love for this guy Eric now, but it's an angry love.
He's gay.
Yeah.
His name is Blangus.
Right, and we accept Bangus. Bangus is a founder of TransFat.
I never accepted that shit. I never accepted that.
You never accepted, like you weren't. So you know, okay. So you never looked at the pictures.
I've never been pro gay. No, I've never. No.
When Angus has put like the videos or the pictures of chicks in that chat, you never guessed. You never like guessed if it had a dick or not. Like you never played that game.
Hold on, Steven. I think my answer will suffice. Am I still in those chats?
Yes.
Well, that's not on me. That's on people that. But it's not out of my doing. I if I see gay shit, I fucking delete myself. I'm like, out. Why do you think I've been gone for fucking YouTube and shit for 10 years?
It's pretty fucking gay.
It went gay? All right.
Yeah. All right. At least this guy got hit by a shit.
I should probably take my name down because I am trying to do shit legit for my school and stuff. And I'm sure this is fucking my name up.
No, just Danny Manny is a perfect pseudonym and what's it called?
Yes, sir.
Alias. Yeah, pseudonym. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Well, there's another video I need your opinion on.
Can I just say Hail Snow Dub one more time because I love that motherfucker?
Oh, absolutely. Baggins has always been confused. He likes dudes with tits, and we understand this. Snow.
No, I don't
we
understand. What are you talking about? Understanding? You don't understand it.
You're not understanding.
No, I'm not. I don't understand shit. Do I look like I understand shit? I'm serious.
Well, that seems a pretty straightforward observation from Jim Henson's middle finger.
If we were in the same room, I think you guys would equally understand. I don't understand shit.
We all have a function on this show, sir.
Corey, where the fuck you at, man? Get up in here.
We'll send you a link if you want to.
Corey, yeah, come on now, Snell. Come on now, bro.
Yeah. Mike says I'm not pro gay either, and well, I am not con gay. What's con gay?
Pro gay. Sounds like you got a bunch of dicks in your mouth, Mike. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Isn't con gay like some sort of ass cream?
I don't know, Mike. We need clarity here. Just don't pork each other.
Mike, I don't know you, Mike. I don't know you. I don't know you, but yeah.
he's getting to know you, Mike. Just don't pork each other on my land that I pay taxes for.
I've been watching a lot of episodes of Oz.
Oh, have you? Well, that's a Oz. There's a lot of man ass in Oz.
I didn't mean that.
I mean, but it's aggressive man ass though. Like it's like there's territorial man ass going on that show, man. Like how do you navigate that? Do you just fast forward?
What other type of ass is there for men other than
man ass?
Right. That sounds like a commercial. Asshole for men.
What's up, Roman? Good to see you, man. He says, "Oh my!" Just read that George Takei's voice.
Oh my!
I don't get it either. Well, I listen. I am not. What I'm saying is that I don't judge Papa Cotton. I don't judge. I just say that
Papa Cotton. Okay.
Dan judges.
Yeah.
Do you judge?
Who doesn't judge?
Sometimes.
Who doesn't judge?
I'm not judging. If Angus likes chicks with dicks, that's on him. That's our brother. That's our brethren. All right. That's a man that would hold you in this life. He loves you.
He would hold you closely from behind.
He ain't holding shit.
Kanye. There you go. Gentlemen of the Empire.
I'll tell you this: ain't nobody in the fatties taking nobody in the fatties are taking my ass. I'll tell you that.
Roman of the Empire. He says Kanye, the worst Nick Cage movie ever. 100%.
There's no such thing as the worst Nick Cage movie.
They're all equally shit.
No, I love Nick Cage. I love Nick Cage.
I love Nick Cage too.
Have you seen Pig? Have you guys seen Pig?
No, I haven't even heard of it.
Then you bitch. Let's just hang out together sometime. But yes.
Okay.
All right.
In Pig,
gotta do the review stream.
It's basically John Wick, but with a pig. And Nick Cage.
Oh. Okay.
It could have been Best Picture, honestly.
So his pig died and then he went on a rampage?
He's a former restaurant owner who just lives in the woods raising his pig, and the only money he makes is because his pig is a truffle pig. And so all these famous restaurants in New York come to him to get truffle from his pig. And then somebody comes and kidnaps his pig, and he just lives in the woods, and he's a former restaurant worker. Then he goes back into the restaurant business and fucks everybody up. And like, there's underground like fight clubs to work your way up to get the pig. It's crazy, dude.
Damn.
Crazy.
See, I thought you were gonna say he accidentally ate his pig, like somebody cooked it and he ate it, and then he found out about it.
First of all, I'm Polynesian, nigga. So when you're saying cooking pig, I eat the pigs in the ground. We put them in the ground, but yeah,
In the sand, right? Yeah.
No, not the sand. Those are Arabs, bro. We put the fucking pig in the. Well, yeah, I guess it's the sand. But it's different sand. It's different sand. We said Hawaii has different sand than fucking Afghanistan.
Afghanistan? Is that what you said?
Roman says that pig was a masterpiece, and it was the only pig that made him cry.
Tell Roman he's a pussy.
Snow says, if trans fat was family, Bangus would be the one with Down syndrome. Oh shit!
Yeah, it's a retarded group, bro. So don't trip. Around. I'm head retard, so don't trip.
Some of us need to take a dip in the gene pool.
Cotton says, I feel okay judging people because it's a takes one to know one thing.
Cotton, we're in the same judgmental category, bro. I agree with you 100%. Fuck these people, dude.
And that makes him feel better. Oh, all right. Well, let's see. Next up.
All right. Next up.
Next up. Next up. Here we go. Okay, Dan, this is very important. I need to know what you feel about this this right here. It's
coming.
I mean, do you need to go outside and smoke one?
No, I'm fucking watching.
All right, well then watch. Okay, here we go. You ready? This is a very sensitive topic, so I'm going to need you to just pull it together a little bit. All right, it's very important.
Shut the fuck up and play.
A transgender athlete from Yoruba Valley took home first gold in the girls'
Look at that face. Fuck. That butt chin right there.
We didn't even get the information yet.
I used to punish these people.
Mm-hmm. From the age of 15 to 18. This is junior varsity high school.
Jaguars.
I played point guard with my high school basketball team. So, I mean, can you imagine the shit that rolled downhill would be right on these people?
Yeah, well, this kid apparently couldn't make the cut for male JV, so he went over to female JV.
They make the cut.
Yeah. Couldn't make the cut.
Oh,
right.
There was a cut.
There was a cut.
Okay. Yeah, he's transitioned.
Look at this.
Right.
Yeah, they're in the green with the titties. She's a man too, maybe. I don't know, but I don't give a fuck really.
A hole's a hole, right?
Yes.
No comment.
Yes.
He's like, yeah.
No, but so this transgender athlete, Dan, competed in.
Sorry.
Competed in a woman's.
And
ended up with the gold.
Come on.
Compenis, yeah.
That's the word that they use. Competed.
No, and how do you jump over fucking hurdles with
a big ass dick? With a big ass dick.
Yeah. Shit.
All right, come on, let's see what they say.
Okay, all right.
California High School Track and Field Championship today. A.B. Hernandez shares her first place win with two other athletes who also cleared a height of 5 feet 7 inches. Hernandez also placed second in the long jump. Her participation has drawn national attention, sparking controversy. President Trump even threatened to pull federal funding from the state. Earlier this week, the California
That's good. Look at the nose on that
fucking schnoz. There's your truffle
girl.
right
Holy
there.
shit! It's a poor girl.
I can't believe they stole her from Nicolas Cage.
I know. I agree. Right. It doesn't look a big, but yeah, I was gonna say, thank God she's not a Jew.
Keep that woman away from my cocaine. That's all I have to say. Oh my God.
She's gonna get a nose job and be a fucking prize.
But you know what? At least she's a girl.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's out there with the same girl sports. Like, you know.
Okay.
Are you questioning? Do you sense dong?
You know, she is holding the sign up over both the chest and the crotch area, so it's really very ambiguous. Based off the face, though.
All right, you know what? We're gonna, you know what? In the chat. All right, 1 if that's a girl, 2 if you sense dong. All right, because I'm saying 1. I don't sense dong.
Saying 2.
I sense dong.
What, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. See, we have to see what Wook thinks and what Snow Job thinks, and if there's a trans fat consensus, then
well.
Is the reporter a him, she? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she was flat. Zeezer.
I feel a tingle in my ZJ.
I didn't. Well, she didn't have a rack. I mean, she was kind of flat chested.
You know, a little bit of wiggle wiggle.
I think that dong. Snow says dong.
Okay, we have a consensus.
I have been out fattied.
Out fattied.
I've been out
my
fattied.
friend. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay. Go ahead, take a lap, hit the showers. Go ahead and douche yourself. Yeah. All right, we're gonna continue with the vid.
Interscholastic Federation changed its policy. It allowed an additional student to compete and even medal in events where Hernandez qualified. We heard from Hernandez's mother.
But how does a man dressed up as a girl not qualify in girls' sports? Like, isn't there a reason why we have 2 different?
Well, remember, like in the '90s when all the fucking after-school very special episodes were about girls who wanted to join the wrestling team, and girls can kick ass too. That is not nearly the same as a whatever 5'10" transgender athlete with twice the muscle mass beating a bunch of little girls.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair. They have. I don't think it's fair.
Yeah,
that's all.
They have more meat.
Just like, I mean, where are all the trans girl athletes winning all the wrestling competitions? Where are all the trans men, whatever the fuck, whatever they were the opposite of the opposite.
The straight men don't want to wrestle transgender.
Do you think that they would take a loss to a trans man as a politeness, like holding open a door? They
Maybe
just take an L.
But I actually saw some footage of the army, and they're sitting there doing boxing, and the women get up there and they just fucking beat the shit out of those girls. So, hey,
dude, that's brutal. Yeah,
well,
yeah. That one trans
army?
woman who in MMA, or was it boxing or MMA, that beat the ever living shit out of those women.
Yeah,
that's domestic abuse.
It is.
That's what it feels like to me.
Shit.
I don't know.
All right, what else do we got?
We have Karens. We have Karens and animals.
have
you know what?
Karens.
We need to cleanse our palate. Let's cleanse our palate for a moment. Now, hold up. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to happen. I need to go back and watch that again. I'm sorry. 1 second. Oh God, I'm sorry. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No more blood in your.
Now, Dan, dong or not?
No.
No dong. All right. I thought that's dong.
Yeah, no. She couldn't have done the fucking
wrong.
splits landing.
Like, I don't want to watch fucking dong on women, bro. So get me the fuck off here if she has a dick.
That's a good question.
Nah, she landed in the splits with a 3 G-force impact.
God, hold on, I need to go back there and just fucking pause that shit. Hold on, just give me a moment.
Well,
just give me a fucking moment.
Think they do that. Think they do that. Oh,
man.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now,
so she bounced at least 3 times, and that would be nut crush. So no dong detected.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Snowdub says. Hold on. Snowdub says. Why does it not come out? Oh, there it is. make a transgender league.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be for that.
And
let them compete against each other.
Make a 6-foot hoop. A 6-foot hoop. So all the little bitches could fucking touch the rim.
Don't they do that already? I don't know. I know, like the 3-point line's closer and all kinds of shit, but they don't know how to pass.
They play with smaller balls. I'm not joking. You know that, right?
Yeah.
They play with small balls, so they're not playing with our balls. They're playing with smaller balls.
So a man in that league would have more of an advantage just hand size alone.
True. You know, and would they let a transgender woman play basketball against the WNBA?
I think, you know, I'm not saying they would have the same talent level, but they'd probably be as big as like Allen Iverson.
I think that they do allow that because they're stupid and women.
Yeah, they should let Dennis Rodman into the WNBA.
They absolutely should.
Even now, I think he would probably be MVP.
Oh yeah. He's like 60. He'd still whip their ass.
He'd be guarding the point guard, switching to the small forwards, just getting 75 rebounds a night. You know, he's 6'8". Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen Brittany?
He just
Griner?
hold the ball above his head, man.
Brittany Griner has testicles smaller than my shot glass.
You can fit both of them in there.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. You know what? The thing about the trans league thing, I think they'd probably have less. They wouldn't be sustainable. There wouldn't be enough fans. Like, that'd be a good litmus test, right? For the nation.
Yeah.
Give them their own league. See how many people pay attention. What kind of sponsors they get. How much money we get.
Yeah.
Nobody watches the WNBA now. Caitlin Clark's been down for a week, and they've lost probably $200 billion in revenue. I'm joking about the number, but you know, I'm talking about the white girl that everybody loves.
Yeah, yeah. Though she's going through. Isn't that the one that's being bullied at this moment?
Well, yeah, she's being bullied. Yeah, but she's like the Michael Jordan in 1985 of the league, who is like, you know, her home.
Excuse me. What about, let's say, Larry Bird? She is white. Okay, let's keep it real.
Okay, her money that she draws, probably like her home games, probably every home game she makes probably does the revenue of the entire league.
So is that where do you think that's where the jealousy is coming from, or do you think it's a racist?
She's a white woman and she's so good, and that she's so beloved. And of course, these black bitches fucking I hate her, and they're checking her, they're hurting her on purpose, dude. It sucks. And like I have a Caitlin Clark jersey, I could put it on for you, but I don't want to. Next video, I would. My friend got it for me, but it's very tight, and you know,
tight. It's my favorite word in the English language.
Like this blonde bitch.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Cleansed our palate. Thank you, honey. Greatly appreciate you. Holy fuck. All right. Enough of that. Okay. Let's see, ratchet shit. Oh, animal stuff. Did you want to do animal stuff?
I want to see a Karen.
I thought we read into transgender stuff.
Oh, we are a little bit. We were talking earlier about Karens.
You said animal stuff.
No, not animal stuff. Wait, no.
Let's take a trip to Tijuana. To the caves of Afghanistan.
That's not what I meant. I meant empathy, animal empathy. That's what we were.
Just trying to elevate the topic.
Shit. I don't know what empathy is, Steven. I'm sorry, bro.
All right, let's see.
The Karen compilation.
The Karen compilation. It's not really that good. No, it's not all that good. But
is Snow going to join us when we finish this?
I don't know.
That's up to him.
Are you going to finish this off?
He has a link in the DMs.
That karma was immediate. Now watch out for softball Karens.
Softball Karen is not really that funny.
Stay mad.
Where's the next one? Nobody cares.
Video inbound.
What the fuck?
This bitch.
No, you did that. Now you're going to jail. Now you're going to jail. That's not our problem. You can go, man. Let her run.
You're gonna run. She can. What is wrong with these mentally ill motherfuckers out here, dog?
Dude, they're raised privileged, and I don't think they realize how much they suck. They just think that they can just get away with whatever the fuck they want. She just literally broke this bus window.
And they was like, get out of it.
Yeah, she's a hungry hippo, dude. Look at her.
I wish she would have ran her ass over.
Somebody should. Might teach her something.
White fatigue is real. You're getting a like.
You get a like.
Yeah, we're gonna do black fatigue in a week or two if you want to come join a real racist conversation.
Can I come back for that?
Oh, absolutely,
100%.
Absolutely.
Keep you in the loop.
I think that it has a lot to do with it's all relative topic when you talk about the black fatigue. So there's a lot of creators, a lot of black creators out there right now that are just like basically sick of all black people getting shit on because of like the ghetto attitude or the NIGGA attitude.
Right.
You know, the Carnival Cruise, EBTs, the EBT dancers and shit like that. And so they're also at the same time saying that everybody's sick of it. You know, like it's all of us. Everyone's sick of these people. You know, whatever space they come into, whether it's a business or a school, a neighborhood.
It's a shit ass mentality.
It's a shit ass, loud, ignorant, not taking any accountability, expecting to be taken
Like
care of, expecting to be taken seriously.
a Philly attitude.
Well, yeah. But the thing is that that's not just something that comes from that part of the population. Or that, you know, like the ghetto attitude. It's not. The far leftists have been doing that forever. The alphabet mafia, your Antifas. They're all.
It's the blacks.
It's the what?
You heard me. It's the blacks.
Yeah. There we go.
No, but I'm trying to say that the blacks
you're trying to say
are complaining about this.
Yeah, they're complainers, is what you're trying to say.
No. They're speaking out about it. They're like the normal people. Like they just happen to be black.
They're complaining.
They're complaining about the other black people.
Oh my gosh! I'm saying that we're all standing united on this issue. Is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. I have a. Somebody calling, but I have to answer this number real quick.
Oh yeah,
go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
We appreciate you hopping on.
No. I'd love to come back if that's cool. Just let me step outside real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. Just mute it. All right. But it's
do a little bit of a show here.
It's the. Well, should we do the animal stuff while he's gone? We come back and totally change it up.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did want to talk about empathy.
Some empathy stuff. Yes.
And as far as like the connection between us and animals,
yes,
and the animal kingdom,
yes.
We're just going to probably go graze over this for a minute because I think we could probably connect it to the topic at the end.
Yeah,
when it comes to that. But I don't know, cute animal video.
There you go.
Roll the window down.
He's telling us to roll down.
Roll it. Look, he's like, oh my god.
He's communicating this motherfucker. So I've been watching these videos, Coil, where. People take in animals who are like fawns or does. Fawns or like babies from like animals you wouldn't expect to be domesticated.
Okay.
Possums or deer or those types of animals.
Yeah.
They bring them into their home and they actually form bonds with them. And these animals act like
they imprint on the human.
They imprint on the human, right?
Yeah.
But they act like. Almost like not like a dog, but like in a way that you have like a domesticated cat or a dog.
Sure.
Like they learn how to live in the house. They learn how to obey. They pay attention. They listen to commands. There's a relationship that's developed between us and them.
Right.
And in some cases with animals that you wouldn't expect that with. Like I know about people that raise wolves.
Right.
Wolf trainers, but you think about that, you think how dangerous it might be.
Right. Well, they tell you the statistics about like
bobcats and stuff.
Yeah, adopting tigers and stuff. There was a couple of years ago, somebody raised a chimpanzee. The chimpanzee turned around and bit her face off.
Yeah,
yeah,
because a chimpanzee is different. That's a whole different creature.
Oh, fucking hey, dude.
That's like bringing a lion into your house. Like you rarely like a gorilla. You could.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chimpanzees hit a certain fucking age, and then when they hit puberty, they become.
Yeah.
Imagine a human teenager.
Right.
With 10 times the strength of a man.
Yep. Yeah.
But the point in like talking about that is there was this video that I saw a long time ago. I was telling you about this earlier. This woman from South Africa who was very familiar with the local life, moved away. Well, she went to college away from South Africa and then came back and went out to go visit this pride of freaking hyenas that she used to run with, and lions that she knows, like literally knows. There's a video of this bitch. The camera guy is like way far away. Like you can tell he was zooming in and shit.
Right.
But this fucking white woman's running up behind this lion and just playing with his tail, and they're running together and frolicking and shit. And I'm just like, how the hell? Like at that time in my life, I'm like, how in the hell is she not getting eaten? How is she not getting mauled? She's like just hanging out on her bike in the middle of a fucking group of hyenas.
So she achieved like perfect balance with the nature.
Yeah. So is there credibility to the idea that a lot of the ancient tales of the creation, the man myth, the creation myths, they said man had dominion over beasts. Most popular the biblical version of it, but there are also versions that predate the Bible that all talk about how we had principality over the animal kingdom. And then you see these stories from today, these bonds that are made with animals you would consider vicious, and also like deer. Like, well, are you kidding me? A deer, bro? I ain't never seen nobody pet a deer. Like, I ain't never seen nobody raise a deer. Deer run from you. They don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. So the proselytizers, they'll say like that's a symptom of the return of, like the lion will lay down with the lamb, blah 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 blah. But I think it's more so that the human animal has become foreign to wild, being wild. We're all living in boxes and eating out of Walmart and shit. We have no connection to the land.
We've lost something since then.
Yeah. Like sleeping outside and shit sucks, but I was one with the land and I knew my terrain. And I did have a degree of animal empathy. So I wasn't attacked or anything. I was able to ward off whatever raccoons and shit.
There's this video here. Look at this bitch with a hyena. Look at this bitch with
a fucking hyena's name is Alex.
Yeah, his name is Alex. Right, so you think about a hyena, you think like a wild dog almost. You think about this, that hunts in packs, and they're killers. So but there is a connection that can be made with the human spirit to that animal spirit. There's absolutely a connection that can be made.
Yeah, if you're balanced, and especially in balance with the land, then you can use that balance to connect with another animal. It says that this is the game lodge, Klerksdorp. What? Bonabunna.
I don't know. It's
Lodge?
Klerksdorp.
Yeah, so I don't know if this guy works there or what the fuck's going on.
I would imagine it's some kind of controlled area. I mean,
yeah,
it's just like cages and stuff. Oh, there's him when he was young. Yeah, right. So he imprinted him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and that makes more sense to me.
But like that video that I was talking about, that woman was out in the wild. It was the wild. She was on the prairie, the African motherfucking prairie with this pride of lions.
That's impressive.
Hanging out.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like we were talking in ancient times. It was said that hunters would just go to the edge of the forest and call out with their minds, and an animal would come and volunteer to lay down and die. Essentially,
it's insane. Are you back then? No,
I've been back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
You've been back. All right, you've been black. All right, so do you any thoughts about human beings being able to coexist with wild animals, or the relationship that we may have had or lost with them?
You mean white people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're white. They're white people. They fuck around with
Okay. All right, thank you.
They love animals. They love danger. They want to jump off a fucking cliff. I don't fucking know.
Like lemmings.
Steve Irwin. There's a crocodile. I'm going to stick my finger right in his bum.
Exactly.
All right, now
you send me a black Steve Irwin who does that shit. No fucking.
No, black Steve Irwin.
This next segment is women that you would date. Would you or would you not date?
Okay.
This woman. All right. That's our next. That's all right. So everybody get ready.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. That's my answer. Yes, I would.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Good.
Why the fuck doesn't he get a ticket?
First of all, I love this bitch.
I can help you talk to someone.
What, Dan?
I love this bitch. Look how intense she is. Look at her eyes. I love her. I love her. I mean, imagine the blowjobs.
Yeah. They'd be intense. I mean, she'd be animated. That's for sure.
Well, no, so you get behind her and enter her from behind.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're like you or me or your microphone. She could deep throat it. And make eye contact. Why
the fuck doesn't he get a ticket?
God damn, bitch.
I can help you talk to someone.
He didn't use his turn signal.
He didn't use his. She's upset because the gentleman that was in front of her did not use a turn signal.
Okay.
I love her.
And apparently,
I love her. Yeah, okay.
Gonna make little danlings with her.
What's the problem?
No, I'm not saying there's a problem.
Well, no, if you had kids with her, look how long the neck would be. She's a fucking giraffe. She's a blind giraffe.
Who has it?
With flared nostrils.
Do giraffes not have deep throats?
They do. They have long throats. That's true.
Why the
You
fuck
can bottom
would
out
you
more.
play this shit? Play this shit.
Man, can I please call you an ambulance?
And decided to follow him all the way to the police station. During a 5-minute drive, she's had an opportunity to calm herself down.
So I have to follow every fucking law, but that fucking faggot can leave the fucking scene without a turn signal? Give him a ticket!
Do you need an ambulance?
He doesn't have a turn signal! Give him a ticket!
Do you need to go to the...
Why the fuck do I get a ticket? He can do whatever he wants!
Okay. Imagine what her seat smells like.
I don't know if I want to. A cat piss?
Warm.
Smells like crazy pussy.
Yeah. You think it's wet and warm right there. This bitch is nuts. This bitch, no, look, I am the king of I love crazy bitches. All right. I think we all. I'll tell you, I have a resume. I have an online resume, and I would not fuck with this one.
But I could handle this bitch. You know, she wouldn't know what to fucking do.
What would your approach be, Dan? Like, how would you tame this wild mare?
I would just let her scream all she wants.
Okay.
Really? Just all she wanted?
Give her something to scream about.
Dude, hit play.
There we go.
Well, I just want to say that Roman of the Empire said her seat could smell like urine and sadness.
Okay. That's an acceptable answer. Yeah.
That smells delicious to me. I don't know what, I mean, you know. Does she not seem just so primed?
She's primed? Yeah, she's primed for something. Would you choke her a little? Do you think a little choking would help her out just a tad? Or
Steven, do you think choking would not help her out a tad?
Yeah, I think you're right. No, excuse me, bro.
It would eventually shut her up.
I removed the question.
She probably requests the choking.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
And then ask
for
her
on top, like when she's screaming like that, the suffocation of your dick, dude. Oh my god, what a bad bitch this girl is. I love this girl.
All right.
All right. Here's some more of her sweet song.
Can I help you with anything else?
Give him a ticket! Fucking come on!
It's not gonna happen.
Body cam, man.
Anything else we can help you with tonight?
Yeah, give him a ticket!
Well, it's not gonna happen.
What the f does he get to do whatever the fuck he wants for?
I just want to know, are you okay?
I think at this point, would you marry this woman? Would you?
or shooter, you know, like what
It's a fuck or fight sort of scenario. And she's screaming like you stuck your thumb in her ass and she wasn't ready for it.
How do you deal with an exorcism, Steven?
I usually build a channel in wine for a few years.
I can't believe he lets you drive.
Why the fuck doesn't he get a ticket?
I mean, honestly, though, like, what does the cop do in this situation?
Have you heard her? Have you heard the thing? Have you heard the thing where they put this girl over a rock song?
Over a what? Oh, where they got the
Why don't you get a
metal guitar player? Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. But if you want to, if we could bring that up, if we had an engineer.
I know, right? Let me see if I can find something.
Okay. Yeah, that's just I don't know. I mental instability has just run rampant. Like, how do you not see it?
Yeah,
hey,
I don't know,
he's
man.
in the back room.
He's what?
He's in the back room.
Oh, my bad.
There he
What's
is.
up, Snow?
For fuck's sake. Sitting back there for fucking like 30 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Listen to that bitch scream.
So unprofessional.
I've only been doing this for like 5 years, 6 years.
That's why you only have 90 subs.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
What's happening, man?
I heard you guys saying you're going to choke some bitches, so I figured I better bring my expertise.
Hey.
Well, yeah. What kind of choking? What kind of choking do you think this one would require, Snow?
That one would probably be just go ahead and go through with it. Finish the job, so to speak.
Like end it, just like squeeze and don't stop.
Pretty much.
I mean,
yeah.
Would you thrust like Dan? Dan's thinking this is a hot commodity right here. He's thinking
I'd at least try to damage the larynx. That way you can drop down a few octaves.
So, C1 and C2 are destroyed. Are you still going until you finish? You know?
Well, yeah, of course. Got to finish.
You got to finish. I didn't get dressed up for nothing.
What question is that? Fucking immortal?
Right?
What bullshit ass question is that? Motherfucker, come on, man.
Never go off. Never go off half cocked.
Men's just go and fuck.
That's right. If we started, damn it, we're going to finish.
Fast.
all right. All right, here we go. You ready? Let's see how this fucking shit is. All right.
We got to get some.
I can help you talk to somebody.
He didn't use his turn signal.
Should she say anything else?
Man, can I please call you an ambulance?
She needs Jesus, man.
Do you have any?
No, she needs like a white boy named Kyle. That's what it is.
She needs a father figure.
Hey, this bitch is Asian, right? I mean, I'm not making shit up.
She's either Asian or Blasian.
This isn't her. This isn't her only video. She's actually got a couple of them out there doing this shit.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, this is part 4.
Well, it's part 4 like this specific video.
Yeah.
No, there's a whole other thing that happens at a gas station too.
Yeah, and
like
Dubs is the liberal meltdown expert, so we gotta.
Yeah, it's like a month later, I think.
It's crazy.
I'll try and find it for next time. I don't know if I can look it up now. I wouldn't know where to look.
Let's hang out, guys. Come on now. I'm joking.
Wook says it's meth.
It's meth. Kevin, what's that?
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin Voldemar Yang. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, bro?
Is there like another show you guys are doing tonight or something, or is this it?
No, we're just hanging out. This is it.
Yeah, this is it, man. When the show gets fat, it gets fat. That's all it is.
There's nothing we can do. The train is
it's the will of the force.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Literally.
Snow. What's going on, buddy? Dude, you had 15,000 subs recently, didn't you?
No, I'm at 11.
At 11? Oh, okay. Well, that's fucking incredible, bro. You're Good for you. Now you slowed down on your. You weren't allowed to. Well, YouTube came at you and smacked you for something, didn't they? With the.
Yeah, they gave me a strike for harassment.
For harassing who? Who the fuck did you? Who the hell did you harass?
Jolly said some things that he talked about doing things to people's ass on a couple of videos, I think, and they didn't like that.
Oh, shit, we've talked about that a few times right now.
Well, we got 90 subs, you know. The only ones that are listening to us is like our moms and our buddies.
You just got to word it right, and I fucked it up. So yeah, I got a strike, and then it just got lifted, but now I got another warning again, so they're already back on my ass.
God damn, man. So you know, okay, so I gotta ask, because you've always had a conservative lean on your channel. And YouTube has for like how long coming down on people who don't, who aren't like far lefties and shit. It was, to my mind, they've kind of relaxed the restrictions or the amount of shadow banning that they used to do. Do you think that's still the case, or are they still take an aim at you and other creators like that?
I think what it was after Trump got elected again, conservatives became more bold and started coming out and talking their shit and not feeling as afraid to speak their mind as much. So there was like a whole new surge of not only content creators, but people wanting to see that kind of content and make comments in the videos in the comment section. So, I mean, I get a shit ton of comments on my videos, a shit ton. And they're all people that feel the exact same way, So I think that was what it was. I think it was an algorithmic surge that they couldn't control because of the election.
No shit. Yeah. And also the amount of engagement, dude. Like that means so much when you're doing it, when you're, growing a channel. If you don't have engagement, it stagnates everything.
Yeah. Comments, likes, all that shit. It makes all the difference.
Yeah, man. By the way, thank you guys for being here, and please share out the link and smash the like if you would. All right, let's see. Let's do another Karen. I don't know if you guys have seen this one. These are all new to me, but this one struck me. This Nancy. Where do you see this negative?
How are you doing today? Can you do me a favor? Can you move the seat forward, because it's hitting my knees at this point. Yeah, no problem. Hold on. It's very uncomfortable. Is that better? Sorry about that.
Okay. Seems to be reasonably.
Sorry, it was already, it was already pushing on my knees. But that's what most of you.
We're not going to go through all 9 minutes, but oh my god.
Rude,
but I'm gonna be rude.
Can you hold on? I didn't even put my seatbelt on, sir.
For someone not trying to come off as rude, she seems to be doing a horrible job at that so far. And this lady hasn't even been in the car for a full 60 seconds yet. It's literally been 30 seconds, and there's been nothing but complaints coming out of this person's mouth. I'm actually amazed at how much you found to complain about within that time frame. Just an overall stellar first impression so far.
Can you please? I don't feel comfortable not wearing my seatbelt first. Can you, slow down? You in a rush? Because if you're in a rush, I'm going to panic.
Listen, all right, 9 minutes, about 9 minutes, but I don't know how many minutes of this video there is, but it's all complaints over and over and over.
Doing.
All over, just constantly. She talks about her car being wrecked, so that's why she needs to take Ubers. But she's been in Ubers that have been in accidents. And I'm thinking to myself, if you're constantly complaining like a side street driver,
oh yeah,
then you're gonna. It's like she's intentionally frustrating these drivers.
She screams and grabs the wheel. I guarantee it.
She didn't scream and grab the wheel in this video, but she's the constant nagging and the constant negativity.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. I could not be an Uber driver. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't be one of these people. I couldn't interact with anyone like this.
No, and remember that one Uber driver almost got in trouble because he kicked that fat bitch out of the back of his car.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo, Snow went off on him.
Yeah. Yeah, she thought she was a rapper. Right, Snowed Up?
Oh yeah. I've destroyed a few of those.
Yeah.
But I can't the nagging culture, the entitlement culture that we've all dealt with it for fucking 10 years now, 10 plus years now. it has created this generation of people, or it has like molded people into this idea that they're not going to be held accountable for their actions or what they say. And I kind of go back to like what Dan was saying earlier. Dan was talking about, bullying. If I saw that kid in high school, I'd have bullied him. Because at that point, when we grew up, gentlemen, like you were held accountable for your words. I mean, we dealt with bullies, we dealt with people who were fucking a little too aggressive or whatnot. Like I dealt with racist bullying and shit. I think Snow has too. But it made us tougher. It made us realize like you have to back up what you say.
100%.
You are accountable for what you say. And we're lost in this like weird nexus of time where people just feel like they can be reckless, negative, nasty, complain, talk shit, and like no one's gonna do anything. And it's created, I think it's created a lot of the problems we have socially at this point in time in history than we've ever had.
Yeah. It's not just the bullying, guys. It's also like, because I grew up, I did a few years down south, Tennessee and Louisiana in grade school, 3rd and 4th grade. And I still remember seeing the paddle hanging on the principal's wall with the holes drilled in it.
Board of Education. Yeah.
I remember kids getting taken to a closet and getting beat. I can remember being in daycare at a really young age and having just some nasty daycare teachers that would snag you by your hair and drag you by your hair, or force you to eat shit you didn't want to eat, or make you hold a book out in front of you for 20 minutes till your arms literally felt like they're going to burn off. I mean, this is the kind of punishment I got. And this was in school. So nowadays it's all catered to, that's why you're seeing this lash out, like a lot of school fights where, they're attacking teachers and shit now. Never saw that when we were kids.
No.
And you almost see the opposite. Instead of over disciplining teachers, you get teachers who have like, Ronald McDonald, Punky Brewster looking shit going on. And they get real close to the fucking camera, goes like, "Would you like me if I was your teacher?"
Inclusivity.
Yeah, dude. Where'd Dan go? Text Dan.
Yeah,
he disappeared. It's just like, I think that a lot of what we have dealt with, and as far as like the far left, the ABC Mafia or the Alphabet Mafia. I say ABC, the Alphabet Mafia, all these different groups that have just been emboldened to just fucking create rhetoric and havoc and go after people's livelihoods and attack people in public and scream at people. That's the one thing that drives me crazy, is when they scream at your face. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm not gonna throat punch you.
Maybe that's what they need.
That's what they need. That's what Dan was saying. That's why I need Dan here for this one.
Take out their voice box. Just pop. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Unless you're gonna make sense.
I don't get it. They need to be held accountable. There needs to be consequence for that type of behavior. That woman screaming out of the freaking car. Like, why wasn't she arrested already?
She should have been.
Yeah, she should have been.
Yeah.
I was watching this one video where this guy was just like yelling at the cops and like talking shit at the cops. The cops were like, "Yo, calm down, dude, calm down. We're going to arrest you if you don't calm down." They hit him with a taser, and he was like, this dude ripped them off. He was on something. He just ripped these freaking the taser gun right off the whatever the fuck they're called, the prongs off him, and just kept going. But he's like trying to talk to him for like 5-10 minutes while he's freaking out in a school parking lot, instead of just taking him down. It's like even the police are afraid to take the initiative.
Well, and you see the utmost extreme of that over in the UK right now, where there's guys running around with knives and machetes, and the cops aren't even like trying to physically engage with the guy.
Oh shit!
They're running around getting chased. It's crazy.
Speaking of that, hold on.
Oh, you got some of that shit?
No.
Oh, here we go.
Lead us off on this.
Here
one.
we go.
I gotta pee.
And to tell you the truth, this is right up the patriotic puppets thing. Yeah. This is Trump's reaction to President whatever the fuck from France getting slapped by his wife. Have you heard about that, Dubs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah, so we're about to see some of the footage on this. This is from R Digital, obviously. This guy's very good with his branding. But here we go. Let's check this out. Macron, okay. That smile says it all.
The video's not up on screen. Coil.
Yes,
The,
sir.
the video's not on screen. They're trying to show something.
Video's not
Not
on
on
screen.
screen. Ah,
No.
shit. Sorry about that.
Fucking amateurs.
I know, right?
What is going on, bro? All I did was go pee. There you go.
All right. They'll repeat that part anyway. That was just like the hook.
You want me to get it? I got it. All right. What do you need?
I just needed to play.
From here? Or go back?
Just back it up to maybe right there. Yeah, there you go. All right. There it is. He's like, hi.
So he got man slapped?
Yeah.
By a man, a he?
That's the rumor. Shh, look at that.
How do you respect a leader after something like that?
You don't.
This week,
Hold on. I just want to say, real quick though. I just want to say, you didn't see Big Mike slap Obama.
No.
You know, the Rock didn't get slapped.
No, only in the cheeks at night.
I'm sorry. Okay, hold on.
This week, there was a video on Mortal Plane that showed the First Lady of France slapping her husband, Emmanuel Macron. Do you have any world leader to world leader marital advice?
Make sure the door remains closed. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
No, I spoke to him, and he's fine. They're fine. They're two really good people. I know them very well, and I don't know what that was all about, but I know them very well, and they're fine.
No.
Are they though?
Are they though?
Are they though, DT? What do we think here, Dubs?
Yeah, different culture. You know, the French they've been known to slap. Like, aren't they the ones that invented the taking off the glove and then slapping somebody with the glove first?
Yes.
That's all
how they
France.
initiated the duel.
Yeah. So I think slapping's just in their culture. They could just slap each other from pretty much childhood.
Am I wrong? But isn't he married? Isn't he with a dude in a dress, or is that a woman? Am I wrong?
The rumor I heard is that was a man.
I don't really pay attention to this shit. So I that's what I had heard. That's what I thought. That's what made it so funny to me. To be honest, you know what I mean? Like, first off, you don't want to be a public figure and get slapped by a woman in the first place.
No.
But you don't want to get slapped by a dude in a dress.
No. On national TV. You know, and I don't understand how he expects to be taken seriously after this point.
Well, I mean, Snow did just bring up that it's a part of the culture. It's like a cultural difference, which is probably, it could be true. But when it comes to like a show of masculinity,
yeah,
being a leader,
what happens when he has to get tough with a world leader?
We're talking about France, right?
We're talking about France.
you know what happened in World War II, right?
The Viking. Yeah.
We weren't talking about France.
Lay down their arms.
Maybe this is a bad example.
Bail their ass out.
Yeah.
But my grandfather literally bailed their ass out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Battle of the Bulge, baby. Battle of the Bulge.
The next part is yours, sir. You got the rest of the show. Your headline.
All right. Well, we're actually going to kind of slag off a little bit of the fuckery and talk about some deep shit. So basically, the idea is that God lets bad things happen. Why does God let bad things happen? Now, before I say what I think, maybe I should go around and ask you guys what your opinions are.
You want me to go first, guys, or Snow, you want to give it a shot? Okay, I'm going to go first.
I guess you're going.
Why does God let bad things happen? Well, my idea of the divine or spirit is that it's both light and dark. It's chaos. It's pure chaos. It's everything. We're all connected to it. We're all connected to those experiences. And so God to me isn't necessarily the ultimate good. It's the universe spreading, understanding itself evolving itself through us, through all living things and organisms, through our experiences, and in levels of existence that I cannot comprehend, that we're not meant to in this enfleshed existence. So when you talk about why does God let bad things happen, I think those bad things are choices that mortals make to do bad things. Those choices have consequence. Those choices have consequence to them and their, what you would call their immortal soul, what I would consider their attachment to spirit. And it also exists because without evil, without obstruction, how would we ever learn our own strength, and how would we learn to grow? How would we learn to be better people? I know, like, sometimes there are evil acts that take place and you're just like, how could people like to point at God and say, how could God let this happen? Right. And so I kind of go back even into my Christian upbringing a little bit, into the idea that in my Christian upbringing, it's the idea of God gives us choice, and therefore with our free will, with our choice, we make the choice to make those things happen. He doesn't necessarily make them happen. If you look at it like that, that's accountability. We must be accountable for our own actions. And if we're being accountable for our actions, then we're accountable for our evolution and our understanding and our connection to source. It is not, I don't think it is a divine being's job to necessarily micromanage every single function, every single wave, every single person, every single energy. And at the same time, is a creator God responsible for everything? Yes. But how are we supposed to evolve as people? If I didn't go through what I went through as a child, if I didn't experience what I did as I was going through adolescence, if I did not go through the horrible relationships, both romantic and every type of relationship that I have, in order to come to the conclusion that I needed more introspection, I needed to understand myself more, I needed to understand my own strengths and educate myself in order to become a better person, then what would I be? I'd still be broken, or I would never have achieved what I have so far and what I am able to achieve. You say God let those people exist, God let that happen, but no, it's those people made those choices. They made the decisions to be who they were to me, as well as I made the decisions to accept such behavior or be a victim to. Not discounting situations where people are put in where they have no choice but, to be abused. There's no choice for them to go through what they do, right? They didn't really have any responsibility in that choice, but there was no choice presented, excuse me. So when it comes down to that idea, Alex, without evil, without chaos, there is no potential for growth. So that's kind of how I look at it. And that's where I'm going to stop there, because I'll go for another 20 minutes.
No, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. We're on very similar tracks in that regard. We do want to thank our previous guests for joining us during the Savage.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for coming out. So to me, the best way to answer that question is to understand the function and the purpose of life. Why would the creator create life in the first place? And that's because the creator sought a way to explore itself, source. So using the principles that we discussed last week about ether and akasha and all that kind of stuff. In order to understand yourself as yourself, you have to experience something that is not yourself, or at least the illusion of something that's not yourself. So you create a stage, and then you give a portion of yourself over to play on that stage. You use a bit of amnesia so that they can discover themselves, right? And then you just let them go. Now, that's not to say that you should accept evil or discord or anything like that, just on the basis of, oh, nothing matters. What this is, it's an opportunity for you to decide who you are in relation to that which you are not. If you recognize what you are not, either through just like emotional disagreement, or perhaps you've experienced abuse or any of that stuff, then you have made some very concrete decisions as a spirit about what is acceptable to you, what is not, what you will do, like how you comport yourself in the world and how you won't. And ultimately, you'll come to the realization, and this is at a very advanced stage of healing, you'll come to the realization that you and this seemingly disparaging other spirit, you're actually one and the same. You're oscillating at different energies. Oh, you're all right, Snow.
You're good, dude. You're good.
You're good.
Thank you for coming by, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you for coming by. You know, I'm glad we
Dude,
didn't
that was
scare
fun
you
as shit.
guys
That
away,
was
yeah.
good as shit to have you guys on the panel,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and you were always welcome. There's
Mhm.
always a fucking doorway in. So yeah, at a very advanced stage, you'll realize that you're all one. And you don't even have to wait until you die to do this. At some point in your existence, you'll be reunited with Source. You'll have an experience of Source. And in that moment, you will realize that everything is one, and that you and the Most High are the same thing, just doing different things at the moment. That changeling experience of the Great Link, right?
Yeah, right. But I mean, when it comes to, so this one thing is really hard to grasp is like, let's say you're a child raised in a village, South America, for instance, where you have rampant violence, and that child basically, grows up without a father. Father's killed, then their brothers are killed, their sisters are, raped or worse. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you have this teenager that's going through all this pain, and then becomes an agent for, let's just say, darkness himself.
Right.
So if you look at the idea of a creator God, how does a creator God allow all that hurt to happen? And what responsibility would a creator have, or are they accountable for those actions? Before we go forward, Kevin says definitely has to do with our free will. God is all powerful, but he doesn't force our actions and choices. And that means people who do evil have to pay for it, because often come from their choice. That I agree with. That I agree with 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how does that, but in the same token, how do you reconcile with the life of someone who went through, like I had explained? Like, how do you?
Yeah. Well, doing that from a 3D human perspective is definitely very hard, because there's a lot of emotional and physical consequences to both making the choice to perpetrate physical, sexual, emotional harm on somebody else, and then the person on the receiving end of it as well. But again, if you think about the function of life, which is to explore the self and provide the creator with an opportunity to experience itself, God's job is to offer us life. Right now, God doesn't tell us how to do that. We actually set the parameters for our physical incarnation, and we have our own reasons to do that in the hereafter or the here before. I don't know how to conjugate that. So what's the purpose in experiencing violence like that? Well, perhaps in a previous life you did violence onto somebody, and now it's your turn to experience it. Now, having experienced violence, again, you have that choice. Do I do something healing with that, or do I turn around and be violent again? And again, those are
pain.
Yeah, those are very deep questions, and it's not going to be easy to answer from a bio perspective, because that part doesn't make sense. You have to integrate the spiritual reason for why it's happening. You have to be able to perceive the opportunities as they arise, because it's let's call it the quick and easy path. It's a lot easier to become nasty and negative than it is to become compassionate.
Yeah, right.
And to release and let go.
Right.
Your attachments will rule you, and especially if you think that you're consistently a victim, you will actually search out for people to victimize you.
True that shit.
Yeah, dude.
Because I did that
Now
for the longest time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if your purpose is to experience those sorts of conditions in order to either spurn you on to something greater, or to provide you with a life-changing choice, were God to come down from the heavens and thwart that, you would be robbed of the opportunity to even make that choice or have that experience.
So if we're all, but okay, now let's just say we're all part of Creator, we're all part of consciousness of God, right?
Yeah. Let's say
if we've already experienced this in another form, those things, why would we need to experience them again?
Perhaps to understand the context of the culture that you're incarnating into. But often if you're called to higher spiritual duties, you need a quick way to remind yourself who you are. And again, calling upon your opposite will show you that real fast. I don't know about you, Stephen, but like for me, we were talking about when we were like 13, 14, 15, and we were starting to realize the extent of our abilities and who we are. It's because we had already walked through a certain amount of suffering. And sure, it sucked, but I don't know that we would have came to who we are as quickly had we not experienced the inverse of who we are. Because now we're in a position to communicate and teach with people. Yeah, right on, bro.
Right on, bro. Yeah. So real quick, Kevin says, I think that my experience with narcissistic abuse and the flying monkeys, including assault by one of them, must have awakened the sense of connection to source God, however bad it all was. I mean, at least a spiritual awakening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I am going to the police with my psychologist tomorrow morning to lodge a report against the person who assaulted me 9 years ago. Good for you, Kevin. Good for you, man. That's a hard thing to fucking do, dude. Very difficult thing. I could have kept quiet about it forever, but doing so made me sick. Sympathy for the guilty is treason to the innocent, namely the other victims. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Speak on that.
No, I love that. So Kevin in particular, he's a guy with a sort of quiet strength. And he could have retreated. He could have fucking gone away forever. He could have ended himself. But he has actually sculpted himself into a physically superior form of man.
Know your girth.
And yeah. And he does 100%. But now he's in a position to influence other people. And he gained a wisdom and a perspective because of his experiences, and
which resonates with others, given that he's a fellow creator. His YouTube channel is growing.
So it's one of those things, like his trauma is not defining him. It is a part of him, but that's not the part of him that he clings to. He's actually being motivative to other people, and I think that's the challenge of dealing with strife.
Dealing with strife, but also like doing it from a position of strength. Sometimes there's silent strength.
Yeah.
Or healing loudly. Some people say healing loudly. But that silent, steady strength is sometimes the hardest, because you have to know who you are. You've got to find who you are inside. Your true authenticity. Transmuting pain into wisdom is not an easy process.
No, it's not.
And it takes a lot of reflection.
It does. You have to come to a place of acceptance, right? Because you can't change anything until you've owned everything. And that includes your role in the victim perpetrator.
Right, but even placing yourself, like making the choice, even like as we were talking about earlier about some crimes or some things that are perpetrated against others, we didn't really have a choice. But to those of us who really take responsibility for our actions, or have been victimized, like, you think it could be something as simple as, I should have went left instead of right. I could have left the house an hour later. I could have done, like, we have to face those choices.
Well, that's true. But there's also that tenet where I can't do anything about the past. I can only do something about the future.
Right.
Yeah. So if I made an incorrect choice, I am never going to do that again. If I was with the wrong person, why was I attracted to that? And decide why you won't be attracted to that anymore. Again, those are very physical ways of looking at things. You have to look at from the higher perspective. We came to this place to transcend this place so that we can heal this place.
And I think I like what Kevin says here at the end about sympathy for the guilty is treason to the innocent. Because he came to that point in his life now where it's like it doesn't matter the time he has spent healing and where he has come to as a person in this life.
Yeah.
I think that he has the discernment and the knowledge of self and what repercussions are possible for not seeking justice or not making a report for what happened to him.
Well, yeah, but cognition of the principles and the motivational factors behind all these things from the perspective of disincarnate does not equal condoning those actions once you're actually physically incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
What it means is that there's simply something that you signed up to experience. And you're at choice as to how you take that experience. You can heal from it or you can become further traumatized by it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike says when some goes for your life and they made the choice for you, unleash God's wrath. God does kill in self-defense. Been there. When you're right, when someone makes a choice to go after you, you have every choice to respond, to defend yourself. And I think that's, again, I think it's also an attachment to our primal nature.
Sure.
Which is very much a part of us in our spiritual natures.
Yeah.
In our emotional and spiritual nature. And so you have, we've talked about this so many times, Mike, when it comes to relationships and family, the man needs to be able to be a threat. A man needs to be able to tap into that primal. He needs to be a person that his woman, children can see as a protector. He has to have the ability. He's got to have you got to have a touch of psycho. You have to be able to go there, and so it's important because when your family, especially if you're the provider, if you're not even with your family, you are the provider of a family, and you are challenged in any type of lethal force or in any way that can hinder your ability to protect your clan, you need to respond in such a way that may be lethal, but at least terrifying, sending that signal out, not only maybe to that person, but to anyone who might come after.
Right.
That you are not to be fucked with. You will protect yourself.
Right.
So in that way, yeah, got I'm always one wing dipped in blood. Angels had one wing dipped in blood. Who did God send? In the biblical sense, who did God send to execute his orders to take care of his enemies, to smite them? Angels are killers. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people, when they start getting into metaphysics and spirituality, they get too much into that hippie concept where
you gotta stay on that hippie fucking bullshit peace concept, right?
That turning of the other cheek and stuff. Yeah. I do believe that there are certain acts that should revoke your right to your current incarnation, right? If you hurt kids, if you murder,
you're a grapist.
If you're a grapist, or unwarranted stealing. Now, I'm not saying like the starving peasant can't go and grab a piece of bread, but like U.S.
The
AID, right?
The type of thievery that destroys
that
lives.
kind of thing. That would revoke your right to exist, in my opinion.
Bring back dueling.
Yeah, bring back dueling. Yeah, and it's one of those things. I've heard it said that if you're physically threatened, you should just do the Obi-Wan thing and let him strike you down. But
sometimes that's merited. But it all depends on the situation.
It depends on the context.
And the context, yeah.
You can't make a general rule about these things because there's some instances where you'd lay down and die.
Yeah, you err on aggression.
Yeah,
definitely err on aggression.
Yeah. And then there's some instances where you might be called to take a life because you despise murder. Stuff like that. That's what I like to call a divine dichotomy. There are certain situations where in order to express who you are, you have to display who you are not. Oftentimes, like say you're a gentle soul, but you're experiencing abuse, so you have to summon the fire to deal with these things.
I think
to establish a boundary.
Yeah, we were talking about. Pardon me, I forget who it was that brought this up earlier in the chat. I think it was Mike. Like the empath who doesn't know. Until they reach a certain age.
From earlier. Yeah.
I think that goes for anybody who is a gentle soul, not necessarily an empath, but a gentle soul, innocent person, or a peaceful person, right? pacifism is no bueno when you're in a situation where you are being abused, and you have to defend your life. You have to defend your sanity. That is when you either take the leap into aggression, into your primal self, and defend yourself, or you lay down and die.
Right.
Or you become a perpetual victim throughout your life.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Or if you fail to act, maybe somebody that you love
will get hurt.
Will get hurt.
Going along with Kevin. Kevin's making that report because he's apparently come to the understanding at this point that someone else has been or may be hurt.
Yeah.
Since he was hurt.
There could be another. Yeah.
There could be another, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, beautiful conversation, guys. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. Mike says, God gave you life to protect with all his might. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That echoes what we were just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well said.
Good job.
Kevin says, I got ChatGPT to draw a tarot card representation of me based on my birth chart. And it did it. A version of strength in the tarot card. Oh, yeah? I believe that. Are you a Leo? Wondering if you're a Leo, Kev. I could have said no. That was the way I was gaslighted and shamed myself after the assault. But it's overt rumination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting you to acquiesce by bringing you into a negative emotional state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's a form of assault as well.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And being taught, just being talked into a situation or shamed into a situation, feeling trapped. If you were at all feeling trapped or coerced into a situation, that's taking away your free will.
Yeah.
That is removing your free will. That is dominating your space and who you are.
Yeah.
And that's an act of evil. Any sympathetic, empathetic human being would not use that type of tactic. And any empathetic human being that could sense distress from the other person will stop.
Yeah.
I believe that we are all innately psychic to some degree. Every last one of us that is spirit, our spirit is a part of us. It's part of who we are.
Yes.
There is no way in my mind, unless that person is mentally ill or has some type of retardation, possibly, that someone who is using coercion on another cannot sense the distress coming from the person they are pressuring into an act or a situation they do not want to be in.
Yeah.
I can't believe that is not something that they sense.
Well, and depending on how they synthesize energy, they might experience elation from inducing that state onto somebody.
Right, and that's when you go into the realm of evil,
yes,
or darkness.
And that,
what I would consider
that's
evil.
Something I would tend to use that word too.
Mm-hmm. In that situation. Yeah, because that's vampiric. That's an energy vampire.
Yeah,
that is
inducing sense of terror in order to get you to relinquish your free will, so they could do whatever they want.
P. Diddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That quote was from Terry Goodguide. Thank you for that, sir. Appreciate that. Mike says, it's a choice you wish was not made for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But you don't know until you know.
You don't, and that's where innocence, that's where it comes to a point where it's when your innocence has been taken in a situation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with that pain? And that's kind of like one of the things that you guys, that I've been trying to say on Dragonstorm for years, because it's it's honestly what I was working on for the longest time, which is, do I live in this pain, or do I learn the lesson from it? Do I turn it into strength? Do I transmute this and flip it into strength? There were things that in my life where the choice was taken from me, in my early life most especially, and I stuffed that down for the longest time, and it corrupted my nature, corrupted my character in ways that I could not have foreseen. When you are unable to face traumas that you have been through, you stuff them down. And where unfortunately we live in a society in the Western world where men are taught, just stuff it the fuck down, bitch.
Right.
Don't fucking talk about it.
Right.
But touching on that and what I had been through in the years since, transmuting that pain into wisdom, learning that lesson, and really does allow you to forgive yourself and also accept who you are, makes you more authentic in who you are. And if you there's different ways that you can take it as far as your healing process, but like really taking strength from that is standing up and saying no more. I will not accept this ever again. And that is where you embrace your primal self.
Yeah. And then after you've done so, you come to the realization that the most important thing about yesterday is that I survived it.
I survived it. Yeah.
I survived it.
Yeah, well said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Landlord 40 years. Thank God. Thank God it was not a tenant. Mike, Kevin says, Michael the Archangel carries a sword. So that means he fights wars and does execute evil doers. Interesting thing about Michael, if you're into the Christian pantheon, well, I know you are, is that when it comes to terms of strength, Michael and Lucifer, Michael was not as strong as Lucifer, but Michael is the archangel that can go into hell and slay demons, because he's like, it's like I liken it to Anakin and Obi-Wan, really,
right?
Where Anakin was the natural talent, he had the natural power, so the devil had that natural talent power, but he used it for the dark to turn to the dark side. Archangel Michael is more Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Where he knows his strengths, he knows how to tactically use his powers. He also has faith in himself and faith in the Force, faith in God, which makes Archangel Michael more powerful, in my opinion.
Yeah, and actually, when you were talking about the wing dipped in blood and warrior angels, Michael's the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Now, El Ella Elohim. So this is Micah of El, I wouldn't call him a god, but he walked amongst them.
Yeah.
Right.
Godlike.
Godlike.
And I also and understand, I think Kevin will understand what I'm saying, but when I say Lucifer, I mean Satan, because I come from the school of Lucifer, the Lightbringer. Yeah, I don't think.
I understand.
You know what I mean? And anybody who knows what I mean knows what I mean, but that's kind of where I look at it. That's a lot to get into.
Well, no, we talked about that. God made the devil.
God made the devil.
God made the devil.
Absolutely. God made the devil. Absolutely. I have tenants try my life too, but not physically, attack my car and such. Jeez, dude.
A lot to go through.
Mike, that is a hell of a lot to go through. A person who is very important in my life went through some stuff very similar to that. Don't really want to talk about it right now, but if they ever do want to talk about it, you guys would have something to talk about. I'm sorry that was so vague, but I get it.
I think he's going to be able to get out of it what he needs.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Obi-Wan was old and no kids or family left.
Well, see, he dropped his physical shell so he could assist Luke in a way that Vader could not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's a Libra. Oh, the scales.
There you go.
No, strength is wonderful. That's a wonderful card, and I think that good as representation of you. But interesting enough, Libra, since you are going to handle this legally, the scales of justice are your strength in the tarot. Justice itself. So go in and with strength, and take care of business. The law of karma will be with you. All right. Let's read through these, and then I think I need to go to sleep.
We don't.
Yeah. I got work tomorrow. I'm sorry. See, coercion is sadly not prosecutable here in Singapore. Australia, the UK, and Canada are making strides in prosecution for coercion. Yeah, and I think Australia is kind of on the forefront of that. And I'm not sure about the UK or Canada, but I'm hoping that America will begin to pick up. There's a rising tide here of people who are sick of cluster Bs, of narcissistic people. And it's really showing in the amount of attention. It's just a small amount of attention. I mean, really, it is relatively small in relation to the amount of people in the country. But the amount of people who are now starting to pay attention to petitions that are calling for registries for those types of people and accountability to be taken for those who use coercion and manipulation on others. So I'm hoping that does happen. Menendez brothers had the choice made for them, and they are paying for it in prison. Seems unethical.
They're the ones that killed their parents, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's their walk, man. I mean, that's where it starts, is sort of getting who's the victim, who's the villain. Terrible thing they did. Terrible things were done to them. You don't have to become the evil that was foisted upon you.
Yeah, but at the same time, what happened? At the same time, like, I'm not actually too familiar with that case, but I do know recently that there was a woman who was given, I think, life in prison or something roundabouts for shooting the dude who raped her daughter in the courtroom when he got off. That dude should have never gotten off.
No.
That dude should have gotten death.
Yeah.
Or sent to prison to get to be the jail block bitch.
Yeah.
You know, for his stay. That is like a bring back dueling.
Yeah.
That's what bring back dueling, guys. So there are some things that need to be handled by us.
No, and totally the parents who murder somebody who harmed their children, and I'm talking about either carnally or beat them within an inch of their life, or killed them.
There should be a code. There should
be a code.
There should be a code for that. There should absolutely. If it's proven beyond a doubt, like that person did that. Like, I have no idea how this guy got off in the first place. So apparently the lawyers were in there doing what scumbag lawyers do. But if a parent is willing to take it to the arena, put him in Thunderdome.
Oh yeah.
Bring back dueling. I mean, that's the way I look at it, man.
Yeah.
Some people, sorry to take a little bit of a darker turn here, but some people don't deserve to live.
That's what I was saying. There are certain things that should revoke your right to live on Earth.
Yeah.
And as a parent, and I'm sure you would sympathize, somebody hurt my daughter like that. Yeah, I'd be on the news and I'd be in jail, and I wouldn't care.
No, you wouldn't, sir, because we would plan that shit. And your best friends help you carry a body in the woods.
There you go, man. To the pig farm.
Yeah, take him to the pig farm. Talking about archangels, the one who I always gravitate to is either Raphael or Gabriel, who carries a mirror. The mirror reflects truth. Nice. I need to look more into Gabriel. That sounds like something I would be interested in. Kevin, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to look that up after the show. I think you just put me on to something, brother. Thank you. Good show, guys. As always, I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you so much. Angel, what's up, sweetie?
What's going on?
Got to meet Angel on the Trainwreck Express. That was a beautiful thing. Good to see you, sweetheart. Some people claim that narcs and assailants who hurt people in youth and childhood and took to hurting others, but it really stands as an excuse for evil.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And we're all responsible for our own actions.
Yes, we are.
Now, it's terrible if abuse is inflicted upon you, but if you turn around and choose to abuse others, and I'm not talking about retaliation to the person who's...
If you embrace the defense mechanism that you once used to escape reality in order to survive a situation, and you embrace that into your adulthood without any type of introspection or personal accountability or even thought, like empathy or compassion in any way, then you're evil. Yep. I went through shit. I had a defense mechanism. I was a writer. I have been a writer. So I would write, or I would escape sometimes in the video games or something like that. But I had a false show. I absolutely had a fucking, I guess you would call it a narcissistic show when I was growing up. A defense show that I used to escape from fucking reality, from the shit that I went through. But at some point you have to face it. I mean, and I have to give credit to one of my friends at 17 who helped me do that. But if you're not strong enough to take accountability for who you are and try and seek healing and understand that you are acting in ways that are going to hurt others, that you are lying and deceptive and being harmful and calculated with it, then you're evil. You make that choice. You become evil. I'll always say this, man. I feel bad for the inner child of the narcissist or the psycho or whatever the fuck. I feel bad for that inner child and what they went through. I have sympathy and compassion for that inner child. But that adult is a piece of shit.
That's right.
And I will not I will not stay attached to my compassion to that child, the inner child, for the adult who is knowingly causing harm to others. No, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah. So we're reaching the 2.5 hour mark here. We definitely want to thank everybody for coming out. Hail to the survivors and thrivers. Hail to all you guys who stayed with us through the show, through the savage part.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That was pretty fun. That was good. And for joining us tonight. Continue to look for us on this channel. We got some good stuff coming down the pike. We just put out some good videos, clips, and shorts. Definitely subscribe to us. Hit the like button. Leave us a comment after the stream's over. And fucking be good.
Man. Thank you very much. Roman says, become the person that you want to be. Find that terrible thing and put it in its place. Be the victor. Yes. Absolutely. And while you're at it, make sure to wash your hands. Wash your hands and wash your ass and be good to each other. Yet suffer no fools. I need an outro. We don't have like an outro thing. Can I just play the Dragonstorm one?
Yeah, if you want.
Is it this one?
Tells me he can get me out of this mess, but he's pretty sure you're fucked.
And for God's sakes, clean your fucking peen. All right, out there. Look, there's a lot of nasty, evil people with mud butt, peanut butter butt all over their dicks and their balls because they're having sex with narcissists. All right, and it's nasty. Don't get pegged. All right, listen, just put it the fuck away, ladies. No, that dude does not. A real man does not want that in his ass. Clean your peen, gentlemen. All right, it's very important. Sexual health is an important thing. Straight men and non-narcissistic men do not like things up their ass. That's for weirdos. All right, so please remember to wash your hands and wash your ass and be good to each other. You suffer no fools. Clean your motherfucking peen.